Hello, hello, welcome to Meakashi. First off, sorry if you didn't hear something in the background. That's the dryer. I know it's like 12:30 at night. Why am I drying clothes? Well, I'm not, but somebody is. So yeah, I don't really hear, but the mic might pick it up because I don't know how to use the mic. But we're back. We're back. Fairly good mood. Starting chapter 3. Last time the Sonozaki sisters finally met, we saw like an argument, which was surprising to Shion because it's a new experience. To She always thought that they're super similar. And they kind of made their own agreement that even though they are twins, they will like live their own life and their own destiny given to them. Mainly referring to Mion being the next head of the family. So good stuff all around. We got a Satoshi and Satoto hint. Not exactly happy to see Satoto being sad as a first impression, but let's continue. Maybe this will be the chapter where we meet the gang. Who knows? Maybe it'll be more bonding with bodyguard guy whose name is Tasai, right? Yeah. I'll try to remember it since I feel like he's he might be like more important than the friends even, so put an effort. Put some respect in our bodyguard. But yeah, let's just start it up. Keep the intro shorter. I've been seeing 5-minute intros. What am I even talking about? Oh yeah, also for the bad endings, since someone asked not to do it, I'll just unless someone else disagrees with this, but I'll just go through the whole story, picking the right choices, and then at the end we'll have like a bad ending a-thon where we just watch all the bad endings. In my normal read-throughs, I would usually read the bad endings first and then just continue on. But I don't like but that's like not when I wasn't recording, and I guess it does ruin the flow of the videos. So we'll take our time and just go through it, and then we can see a bunch of fun bad endings later. It's a very quiet afternoon as always. Since I can't go outside as myself, I have to match schedules with Mion when I go shopping. I've gotten used to it by now, so it's no longer a hassle. Because of this, I naturally have to buy things in bulk. Today I shuttled between shops and my home.
あれは買った、これも買った。ああ、そうだ。今日って100円セールの日じゃなかったっけ？
Gotta get those dollar
忘れてた、
deals.
忘れてた。
Being in a good mood, I spun around with my arms spread out. I felt like a little whirlwind. My arm hit a motorcycle parked on the sidewalk. It obviously wasn't where it was supposed to be.
もう、何こんなとこに止めてるの誰？
I gave it a kick with no hesitation. Oh, isn't this mirroring that? Was that in? Yeah, that was in Watanashi, where I forgot what the reason was, but Keiichi kicked like a motorcycle, probably by accident. I feel like Shion did it on purpose, but I don't remember. So this will be interesting if it's like resembling that scene. But like, who's gonna come to Shion's rescue? Maybe just the villagers themselves, because they think it's Mion anyways, right? Maybe. There were 3 motorcycles lined up there in a row. They all felt like dominoes. It was a beautiful sight. This is fun, I thought. Being in such a good mood made me leave my guard down. I didn't realize that the owners of the motorcycles were right nearby. They looked pretty scary. They grabbed me by the neck and dragged me into a dark alley. Jesus, okay. Then they called me all kinds of names. Everything was happening too quickly for me to grasp what was going on. Well, like, I guess this would explain how Shion was so confident in... Well, actually, no, that was Mion dressed up as Shion. Never mind. I was going to say, shows her confidence to, make those bikers back off. But that was Mion. Unless that was Shion. But it's like, I'm like 90% sure it's Mion. Unless it's like a double twist and it was Shion pretending to be like Mion pretending to be like Shion. But let's not think about that right now. Fucking bash your head in. Good one dies. I mean, I get why they're angry if they see like a girl happily take the bites down, but still. Whoa. They can't really talk properly. I didn't have a clue what they were saying. I had to translate their alien tongue into normal human words in order to understand. We are very upset because you knocked down our motorcycles. You should immediately pay for the repair and compensation. Yeah, that was probably it. That's our offer. What do you say? We'd be happy to listen to your opinion. Something like that? What and what? I don't even I don't know what that means. What and damn. Like, what is that supposed to like translate to? What you doing? Or what you done? Oh, it's what you done, I think. Huh? What you done? That was a rough one. I don't blame you. I know what they're trying to say, but somebody has to warn them about the way they park their motorcycles. It wouldn't be fair to those who obey the rules if there were no punishment for those who disobey them. This is an accident, but it must also be God's will. But God, you can use me to punish these guys, but how will you compensate me later? I heaved a huge sigh. Of course. I wasn't afraid in this situation at all. I mean, pretty brave of you. Because it wasn't a dangerous one for me. These three guys were yelling at the top of their lungs at a girl. They didn't look good doing it, and they had too many disadvantages. First off, there's differences in gender and in number of people. Even if I did something wrong, as men shouting at a woman, it didn't make them look like they were in the right. I mean, she's making logical sense, but what if one just like bops you on the head? Added to that, there were three of them. It already looked like it was going to get violent. Second, the location. Taking a girl into a dark, narrow alleyway is already a bad idea. And top of that, they're asking for money, not just an apology. Thanks to these facts, the public will be on my side. So this was a fight they couldn't possibly win. Maybe long term, but not short term. Maybe not short term. The only way for them to win would be to take my money before somebody finds out. Considering that, taking me to this narrow, secluded alleyway might have been a smart move since fewer people will find out about this situation. Also in the Keiichi scene, like the non-Hinamizans before, like Mion or Shion showed up with like the gang, were like ignoring that, so I wonder if like the passerbyers are gonna ignore Shion. I knew how slim their chances of winning were. From the very beginning, they had picked the wrong girl. I'm Mion Sonozaki now. It'd be foolish to mutter an autonomia. Soon enough, the people of Hinamizawa would notice me and gather around. They don't spare mercy for their enemies, no matter what. The punks didn't know this area well. If they did, they'd know how silly it was to rob a Mion. Plus, the alleyway isn't as empty as they assumed. The side street is a shortcut which local people frequently use on their way home. In the late afternoon, many people would be passing through here. That time had almost arrived. If I held off a little longer, the street would soon be filled with people. Then the punts would have to go away. I didn't have anything to do. I didn't have to do anything. I just had to wait in order to win. This was a simple fight like that. While they could hurl abusive language at me or lift me up by the collar, they weren't actually going to resort to violence. Cheers to the educational system for ingraining the ladies first mindset. But as a wicked person, I wanted to toy with them a bit, even though I could win this by waiting. I wanted to paint them as even more villainous and drive them into a corner that would be even harder to talk their way out of. That demonic desire was rearing its horns. To put it plainly, I'd only need to act as a poor, helpless victim a little further. Like the pathetic, pitiful, tragic heroine everyone wants to sympathize with. In a case like this, I shouldn't start crying immediately because they get nervous and draw back. If it was a truly threatening situation, that would work. But I needed something different here. I'd pretend to be strong at first. In fact, I thought, why don't I challenge them? And eventually, I'd start trembling, my voice would fade, and I'd get tears in my eyes. It'd be even better if I played the role of a strong girl who's slowly giving in to fear. Mion and I are probably the only ones who are capable of pulling that kind of stuff off. Well, I'm probably better than her.
そんなにしつこく言わなくてもいいでしょ。悪かったって言ってるじゃないですか。
I talked back with a little hesitation. Am I getting tears yet? Yes. By the way, I've heard men can't shed tears on command. That's actually not true. I think I'm actually pretty good at that. Because I can cry pretty easily, so if I just think of something sad, I can probably do it. I mean, I haven't been in a situation where I needed to, but I'm pretty confident. I feel sorry for them. The three punts faltered a bit due to my sudden change in attitude, but they soon started yelling at me again. I had to keep it going. The way they blatantly looked like they were picking on a helpless girl.
許してください。
なんだよこら。さっきまでの伊勢はどこ行ったんだよ、にゃろ。
そんなのだって。
Again, just highlighting Shion's high-level acting.
そんな今頃泣くくれなら調子くれてんじゃねえんだよ、たくよ。
It looked like they were laying off a bit. Did I overdo it a little? It'd be boring if they let me go now. At that moment...
いい加減にしないか。
It's a Satoshi sprite, dude. I was trying to say, is it gonna be like question mark, question mark, question mark? But that just looks like... That honestly kind of looks like Satoko. I mean... Okay, that's cool. I don't actually remember. I can't really compare this to Teichi because I can't exactly remember what he looks like, except for the brown hair, but... What's up, Satoshi? The only thing I know about you is you're like sad in the hint and frustrated. But it seems like you're kind of timid, but you're like standing up for Shion right now, so... Timid boy with courage, sometimes. That's cool. Okay, so she's meeting Satoshi first, which I thought might happen. Let's see what you got, buddy.
もう泣いているじゃないか。やめてやれ。
Again, still sounds incredibly girlish, but I did it, kind of. A boy around my age appeared. He was skinny. He looks like he honestly looks kind of younger than Mion, but I'm assuming they're like the same age. It's the song. Somebody told me what it was. I already forgot. But apparently there's like a bunch of versions of it, so that's cool. He looked weak. Wait, is this the son? I don't know. Sounds like it. He looked younger than he probably was. That's what I just said, Shion. We're in sync right now. That's good. I like that in sync with characters, with protagonists. He also looked smart. He bravely glared at the punts. Oh yeah, it is the song. Taurus is a banger. Who the fuck are ye? It's like slang and Old English combined. It's great. The punts turned away from me to face this boy instead. The boy looked a bit agitated when the punts started yelling at him. They sure were ruthless, but the boy must have known that from the beginning. He must have known that he was going into a dangerous situation, yet he didn't hesitate. Look at that angry Satoshi face. He must have wanted to shout back at them. Can I look up... Sorry, I'm trying to look up Satoshi's voice actor. Don't worry, I'll be careful not to spoil myself. It's easy, you go to the VNDB and ignore everything else. And then just go to Satoshi. Actually, it'll be fine. Maybe. Don't worry, I'm so good at blocking out characters I'm not supposed to see. Trust. I'm actually like surprised at myself at how good I am at it. It's like not for Higurashi, since I've been like pretty careful, but for like most things, like I might see something in the corner of my eye, but it just gets erased from memory. Am I in like the wrong thingy? Oh, this is a question answered us. True. This I have to be careful though. Okay. It's alright. Boom. Okay, got it. Click. Satoshi. It sounds so familiar. That's why it's bugging me. But it probably isn't. Because I don't read a lot of visual novels. It's probably not. Wait, is this a guy? No, it's a girl. Okay, that made sense. It is canon. Okay, I was kind of low-key thinking it was canon, but I didn't want to say it out loud. Okay, so it is canon's voice actor. Easy. That's cool. Again, it even sounds a bit more girly than canon's voice though, so... Mission successful. Probably should have called it to get more kudo points, but that's alright. But he probably never used that kind of language in his life. So he couldn't have expressed his feelings out loud. He might have not even known what to say. So he just kept glaring at them. He kind of has like an Owishi angry face. It kind of reminds me of that. To let them know that he wasn't going anywhere. The three punts though might have thought he was just at a loss for words in his fear. But I knew different. The boy was overpowering them with nothing but his will. The punts were losing, so they resorted to violence. Ah! They grabbed him and knocked him down. They hit, kicked, and tossed him around. It looked painful, but I knew. It was his victory. Brave Satoshi. What an entrance. I feel like he's gonna be a pretty wholesome boy. Like the voice too adds to it. He'll seem like a wholesome boy, but he's probably like super stressed. Again, from protecting Satoko from the uncle and aunt. That's my guess. We literally just seen him for like a couple minutes, so for a scene. But yeah, I'm excited to explore Satoshi. Just right now he seems nothing like Keiichi. Like what I just described doesn't sound like Keiichi at all, so maybe I mean it still feels like Keiichi doesn't have to be maybe a direct like correlation with Satoshi, but like maybe a janky replacement where he doesn't have to like act the same, but he like fills the same role as Satoshi, who got like transferred out of the story, so he's gonna do all the things Satoshi did, but has like a completely different personality. That could like easily be the case too. In the end, the local passerby stopped the punts. They made no further fuss and just went away. The boy stood up. He was covered in dust. Good turtle, dude. He smiled when our eyes met, and asked me if I was alright. He didn't look particularly okay himself, though.
あんたもよくもまあ勝てない喧嘩を買う人ですね。次からは勝てる算段がついてから喧嘩を買うことを深くお勧めしますからね。
Because you were crying. Pretending to cry.
最初は迷ったよ。
He laughed, saying that he was watching from the beginning. That meant he had the option to walk away. But instead, he worked up the courage and stepped in.
そういうのは勇気って言わず、万身の程知らずとも言うかな。
Didn't mean to cut you off there, Shion. Oh. God, that blushing face. His face is so red.
ミオンは口が減らないね。
Ooh.
助けてくれてありがとうくらい言ってくれよ。
I was gonna say maybe he didn't think she was Mion because he knows Mion too much and probably wouldn't imagine her crying. So maybe that was the case, but okay. I'm excited to see if this is gonna be like a love triangle between Mion, Shion, and Satoshi, because I kind of brought that up. Except, you know, like Mion likes Keiichi and Shion likes Satoshi, but if they play like the same role, it's just a love triangle.
泣いてたじゃないか。
別に泣いてなんかいません。あれはちょっとした演技で。
いいよ、演技でも。
Jesus.
ちょっと
He's actually
信じて
adorable.
ないでしょ。
Completely different vibe than
私
Keiichi,
が本
huh?
当に泣き出すと思いますか？
I think it's almost good enough just to scrap the idea that they're like very similar, but it's alright. I like the thing I just said. That sounds like better.
思わないよ。
Makes more sense. And it also gives Keiichi more of a personality, so that's fine. It also makes me think Keiichi's like a real character, but who knows?
天下ごめんの園崎ミオンが不良にいじめられて泣き出したなんて誰も思わないよ。
I love the laugh, dude. I feel like I don't want to hear him scream, but I feel like he might have a. I'm excited for it. I feel like it's gonna happen sometime in the answer arc. Everyone needs their scream, alright? Give me the screams.
全然信じてないでしょ。
I'm a scream collector.
私が半泣きなんてするわけない。
信じるから信じるから。
I realized one thing. He must be one of Sis's friends. He didn't seem to realize I'm her twin. He thought I was Mion with a different hairstyle. Mion and I have had to live separately since before we went to elementary school. Mion was in Hinamizawa, and I was in Okonomiya. I lived in a totally different environment from her, so it's not strange that people don't know me. Actually, only very few people know I exist. I almost told him that I'm not Mion, but I managed to stop myself. Shion shouldn't be here. He's from Hinamizawa. It wouldn't be good if he thought he saw Mion look alike in Okonomiya. So I had to act like Mion. Dealing with him could be more difficult than handling those punts.
でもまあミオンにも少しは 女の子らしいところがあったんで安心したよ。
なんだか妙に引っかかる言い方ですけど、つまりはどういう意味です？
ミオンのことだから、なんだか珍妙な憲法でも使って瞬く間に撃退してしまうんじゃないかって期待してたね。
I could see that.
だから泣き出した時は正直驚いた。
だからあれは泣き真似だったって言ってるじゃないですか。さっきから人の話ちゃんと聞いて。
The close-up face, what the heck? He put his hand on top of my head and stroked it as if stroking a kitten. Jesus. Man's brave. I can remember somebody doing that to me when I was little, but definitely seems like a pretty bold guy. It had been quite a while since somebody stroked my head. I didn't know what to do. Why did it make me so embarrassed? My face reddened all at once. I couldn't say anything.
バカにしてます？ひょっとして。
I stuttered in embarrassment. He looked calm, as if he was used to doing this. Well, probably to Satoko.
なんでもいいよ。よかったじゃないか。
よかったって何がです？
無事で。
Did I take the thumbnail? Maybe. I kind of want his eyes open though. I like those shots better, not closed-eyed smiles. He smiled while he kept stroking my head. His smile looked divine. It does look good though, I'm just saying. Give me an open-eyed smile. He wasn't going to stay for long. He's already saved me from those guys after all.
じゃあ、僕は行かなきゃならないから。そろそろ行くね。
So I should head off now. Why did I read that?
うん。
I wanted to go through all the steps of meeting someone for the first time, but he didn't. As far as he was concerned, he just saved a friend from danger. And wanted to leave quickly to avoid seeming pretentious. He and Mion must be friends who knew each other well. So I couldn't bring myself to ask, what's your name? Sorry. Mion's friend smiled once again. His smile looked as refreshing as a clear blue sky. This time, he smiled a bit mischievously.
安心しなよ。ミオンが泣いてたなんて誰にも言わないから。もっとも言ったところで誰も信じないだろうけどね。天下無双の委員長が泣いてたなんて絶対誰も信じない。
Dude, I'm just trying to imagine this guy going like crazy, like Keiichi did in Anakatashi. I mean, you can kind of see it. It's not like I feel like he has a super strong will, but it would just be different. He patted the dust off his butt once again. He walked back to the sunny main road, away from the dark alley. Then he turned around.
じゃあまた明日。学校でね。
うん。学校で。
He had disappeared into the brightly lit street. I continued to sit in the gloomy alleyway. I could no longer see him. I was just staring absent-mindedly at the bright light. That was the first time I met Satoshi-kun. Cute. Cute. I'm not even allowed to walk freely under the sun. I met a boy on a sunny day. How come a perverse girl like me fell in love with his innocence? Well,
そりゃあサトシだよ、サトシ。
maybe that means the notebook is Shion. So I'm gonna give it like a 90% it's Shion. It still could be a bait and be like somebody else. But like, it's hard not to just say it was. Okay, it is here. Wait, no. It's not here. But yeah, okay. Love. fell in love. Easy. I mean, it was already like pretty much confirmed that she loved Satoshi before this, or had some sort of romantic feelings. But yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for like Mion, Shion love triangle into like Mion or Shion, either one of them doing some bad things. Escalating pretty hard. But who knows? We don't know if Mion actually likes Satoshi. It could also be this interesting situation where like Shion really likes Satoshi, and for some reason or another, probably with Mion involved, he got transferred away. So in the next year with Keiichi, when Mion really liked Keiichi, Shion like took her revenge and like did the same thing, or tried to like do the same thing as Mion did to Satoshi, or just like kill Keiichi, transfer him away. I don't know. That's also food for thought.
その特徴的な雰囲気と気安く頭を撫でる癖は間違いないね。
A habit of stroking people's heads. Maybe that's why Satoko freaked out when Keiichi stroked her head. If I remember. I don't know if she freaked out or like started crying. One of the two. Maybe even both.
サトシ君って言うんだ。
The boy from earlier is called Satoshi Hojo-kun. Mion said that he is always daydreaming, so she didn't believe that he saved me at first.
普段はしっかり者の妹にいろいろと尻を叩かれてるな。
Oh, this is also, isn't this also the year where they called like child services for Satoshi and Satoko? That might have spiced things up when that failed. Interesting.
妹がいるんだ。うん。妹はサトコって言ってね。なかなか面白いやつだよ。なかなか悪知恵が働くしね。
Funny and shrewd,
そ
huh?
のくせ追い詰められると泣くし。
Yep.
見てて退屈しない子だね。まあ最近はいろいろとあってね。ちょっと調子を落としてるけど。
More sad Satoko, dude. I want to see the fun Satoko I love. His sister came up naturally in the conversation. I tried to soak up every scrap of information about Satoshi-kun. Why? Why am I trying to ask so much about him? Love at first sight. Guess it happened. As I asked myself that, the feeling I got when he stroked my head came back to me. Well, it'll be kind of awkward with if you're pretending to be Mion, especially if Mion doesn't like Satoshi. Maybe that'll be a reason why Shion comes out as Shion. I must have been blushing.
シオン？え？ああ、ごめん。聞いてる聞いてる。そもそもね、サトコがおばと折り合いが悪いらしいんだよね。
What if Shion killed them?
サトシは大人だから、
I don't
その
hate
辺
it,
はうまく立ち回ってるんだけどさ。
but there's like nothing to go
サ
off
ト
that
コは
yet.
嫌なことがあると素直に表情に出しちゃうからね。
What Sos told me was very interesting. She told me that the parents of Satoshi-kun and his little sister are dead. Does she not immediately... I guess you don't naturally connect the dots, because she even mentioned the Hojos were the ones who were branded as traitors or whatever, like a couple chapters ago, but obviously a couple days have passed since then. Satoshi-kun and Satoko are now living with their uncle and aunt. They don't seem like very respectable people. They're always fighting, and the uncle is cheating on the aunt. He mostly lives with his mistress. Satoshi-kun and Satoko entered into that unwelcome environment. What surprises me the most is the fact that Satoshi's... Okay, so she does is the fact that Satoshi-kun's parents were the Hojo couple who were the leaders of the pro-dam activists. That must have added something to the situation. I don't know what kind of stance the uncle and the aunt took during the dam conflict, but they must have taken some indirect blows. Satoshi-kun's parents died after bothering them so much and even left them their children. The uncle and aunt obviously can't love those kids. Things have gotten worse this past year too. Women can be really nasty bullies. Sometimes it doesn't matter who they're bullying, even if it is a kid. On top of that, women tend to care less about propriety. I know that's a word. Let's give that a quick Google. Propriety. Propriety. Ownership. Okay, so it is almost property.
Proprietary.
Oh, no, just whatever. Yeah, we get it. I get it now. I do know that word. I just haven't used it in a while. Okay. Click. As a result, Satoko seemed exhausted with it all. I can't imagine Satoshi couldn't bravely protecting his little sister, just like when he saved me.
ならサトシ君も普段は疲れてるってことになるのかな。え？サトコがおばにいじめられるたびにきっとサトシ君は妹をかばってると思う。妹が疲れるのと同じくらいサトシ君も疲れてると思うのは私。どうだろうね。
Had I said something wrong? Mion sounded a bit taken aback. So that meant Mion can't tell how he's feeling. Because he's always wearing that blank look, so she never considered it. How can she be that insensitive even though she's around him all the time? I was amazed to realize that.
まあそんな話はいいや。
Okay, so I feel like Mion doesn't like Satoshi, so maybe no love triangle. It does feel good though. I like that idea. That might be worth jotting down. The idea that like Mion is like tasked to or does something to Satoshi to make him disappear. And that's why in watching Higurashi, Shion's like the crazy one that does all that stuff, kind of as a revenge for Keiichi. Or it could just be like a mirror. It really was Mion just doing that again. Like, and Keiichi acting as Satoshi. But the only difference is it seemed more like Mion liked Keiichi than Shion, so it's a little weirder.
で、彼は普段はどんなことをしてるの？文系みたいだから読書とか好きなわけ？あ、想像に生まれずに普段は読書して過ごしてるよ。最近読んでる本はね、なんて言ったかな。
I continued asking about him, about what he likes, dislikes, and what he thinks about. I asked us all these questions because I wanted to know more about him. It was the first time I've ever been interested in somebody. I didn't want to admit that I had feelings like that. Did I fall in love just because of a stroke on the head? Am I stupid or what? When I remember the feeling of his hand on my head, my heart feels tingly. I tried doing it myself, but it didn't feel the same. I'm stupid. What am I doing stroking my old head? I was trying to say, I'm just picturing that and it just seems weird.
おねえ、私もうダメだ。バカになっちゃった。え？何を突然気色悪い声で笑い出して。お姉にはわかるまい、この気持ち。
Wonder if she's just trying to say it to Mion. That would make things a bit more awkward with Mion in school, huh? When would I see him again? I felt as if my suffocating life had finally grown brighter. Boom. Okay, I'm down for it, dude. Meeting Satoshi first. Probably no love triangle. But I am a fan of romance stories. I don't know if people know that. As long as they're good. But yeah, this should be spicy. I mean, I guess there was romance in watching Higurashi a bit, but it was more like Keiichi didn't. I don't know. I just felt bad for Mion most of the time for the romance period, so it'll be kind of fun seeing somebody actively trying to get someone interested in them, especially if it's with such a charismatic character like Shion. But yeah, good session, new character, very quickly to fall in love. I thought it would be like over the period of time, like my initial um idea was that like Shion would be introduced in the group, and like her and Satoshi would especially like bond over time, and then like I don't know, Mion would get jealous or something, and that would start it, or like. But yeah, this will be interesting since Shion does admit that she is romantically interested in Satoshi. I'm sure we'll get some more interactions with her pretending to be Mion, and then this might be a motivation to reveal that she's Shion. Good stuff like that. I'm excited. You know, give me this wholesome stuff, give me some fun stuff, and give me some romantic stuff in the first half of this before we get into the violent and or sad stuff. I mean, there'll probably be some sad stuff mixed in this half, but like before we get into some violent territory. But yeah, thank you for watching. What episode is this? 5. So this is. So I'm thinking Friday's episode. So hopefully, if you are watching this, as it's been released, you're enjoying this Higurashi week, and yeah, stay tuned for next episode tomorrow or whenever you watch it, or if you're like watching this later and like all the episodes are released, whatever. Have fun and yeah, enjoy your day. Bye.